The Forest That Ate the Moon Part 1, The Vanishing Light. It began with a whisper, asterisk, not from a person, but from the forest itself. Asterisk locals in the nearby town of Brackenhill had always spoken of the woods to the north, a vast, endless wilderness that seemed to breathe after dark. Asterisk, they called it. The Forest That Ate the Moon. Asterisk Ethan Cole had heard the name since he was a child, but he never believed it until his brother vanished there. 2 years had passed since Caleb Cole, an aspiring filmmaker, disappeared during a solo camping trip in those woods. Asterisk all the police found was his tent, half collapsed, and his camera buried in the mud near the riverbank. The last minute of footage showed something impossible, the moonlight fading, like a candle being blown out from the sky. Asterisk everyone assumed Caleb had fallen, drowned, or lost his way. Everyone except Ethan. He watched that footage every night. Asterisk each time. He replayed Caleb's trembling voice, whispering just before the camera cut off. Asterisk, the forest is eating the light. That sentence became his obsession. Asterisk now. On the eve of another full moon, Ethan sat behind the wheel of a dusty Jeep, headlights slicing through the fog as he followed the same road that had taken his brother. Asterisk beside him sat Mia, his girlfriend, anxious, unwilling, but loyal. Asterisk in the back seat were Ryan, Caleb's best friend, and Jade, a quiet documentary student filming everything. Their goal, to find out what really happened. GPS says we're close, Mia murmured, checking her phone. The signal flickered, then vanished. Great, no bars. We're officially off the grid. Asterisk good, Ethan said flatly. We won't need it where we're going. Asterisk Ryan forced a grin. Man, you sound like a horror movie trailer. But his laugh didn't last long. The forest had begun to change. Asterisk the trees leaned inward, branches interlocking like fingers above the road. Asterisk the air grew thicker, colder. The moon overhead was enormous, bright enough to paint silver patterns across the fog, yet somehow, the headlights began to dim, not flicker, dim, as if the darkness were absorbing them. By the time they reached the trailhead, the road was gone, just soil mist and silence. Ethan killed the engine. This is it, he said quietly. Asterisk makes sense, Ryan muttered. Creepiest place I've ever seen. They unpacked their gear and stepped into the clearing. The moment Mia's boots touched the forest floor, the wind stopped. Every cricket, every rustle, gone. Even their own breathing sounded muffled, like the air had thickened into something heavy. Asterisk Jade lifted her camera. The red light blinked once, then dimmed, struggling to stay on. Asterisk batteries full, she whispered. But it's fading. Asterisk, Ethan frowned. Keep recording anyway. They began walking down the trail. Asterisk. It didn't take long before the forest started to feel wrong. Asterisk. The path twisted and forked in ways that weren't on the map. Asterisk sometimes the trees were too close together, almost forming walls. Asterisk and sometimes they moved. Asterisk not bending from wind, shifting subtly, like they were breathing. Ethan brushed a branch and flinched. It was warm. Asterisk hey, Ryan said, shining his flashlight. You see that? Asterisk. The beam reached the trunk of a massive oak, and then, halfway up, bent backward. curving upward into nothingness. Asterisk, the light was being pulled, stretched, until it vanished. Asterisk, what the Ryan shook the flashlight. But it was still on. Asterisk, the light was gone. Not broken, swallowed. The forest eats light, Ethan muttered under his breath. Asterisk, Mia grabbed his arm. Don't say that, please. They reached the river around midnight. Asterisk, the water shimmered silver, reflecting the full moon, but only for a moment. Asterisk, then the shimmer faded, replaced by dark ripples. Asterisk, the moon's reflection twisted, warped, and finally disappeared. It was as if the river had swallowed the moon whole. I think this is where Caleb's camera was found, Ethan whispered. Asterisk, he knelt beside the bank, searching. The mud was soft and smelled of iron. Mia looked around nervously. Can we set up camp already? I don't like this place. Asterisk, they pitched their tent beside a fallen tree, started a fire, and sat close together. Asterisk, the flames gave off almost no warmth, and then the forest began to whisper. At first it was faint, a breeze carrying distant murmurs. Asterisk, but soon it became clearer voices, dozens of them, overlapping, calling names they couldn't quite hear. Asterisk, Ethan. He froze. That voice wasn't just any voice. It was Caleb. Did you hear that? He asked. Asterisk, Ryan nodded slowly. Yeah, and it came from across the river. Asterisk, Ethan stood up. We have to go. Asterisk, no. Mia cried. It's not real, Ethan. Please, don't. But he was already walking toward the water. The moonlight flickered again, one by one. The stars blinked out, like someone was painting over the sky with ink. Asterisk, the forest grew darker. But not naturally dark, hungry dark, thick and alive. Ethan's boots sank into the mud, on the far side of the river. Something stood tall, still, watching. He called out, Caleb. The figure didn't move. Then, slowly, its head tilted, not like a human, but like a puppet learning to move. Asterisk, Mia's voice cracked behind him. Ethan, please come back. He took another step forward, and then the fire behind them died. Not extinguished, consumed. Asterisk. The smoke didn't rise, it fell, sinking into the earth like the ground was drinking it. Asterisk, Ryan screamed. What the hell's happening? Jade's camera blinked and went dark. Asterisk, suddenly, a flash of light burst from beneath the soil. Every root around them glowed faintly white. For a moment, Ethan saw faces beneath the ground, pale, twisted, mouths open in silent screams. The light pulsed like a heartbeat, thump, thump, each time. The forest dimmed further. Asterisk, the sound of rushing water grew louder. But when Ethan looked at the river, it wasn't water anymore. Asterisk, it was liquid light, running like molten silver, sinking into the earth as if being drained away. Asterisk, Mia grabbed his arm. We need to leave now. He turned to run, but the path they came from was gone. The forest had sealed itself, trees forming a wall behind them. Asterisk, Jade whispered. We're trapped. A shadow passed overhead. Asterisk, they all looked up, and saw the impossible. The moon was fading, not hidden by clouds, not dimmed by mist. Asterisk, it was literally being eaten, its edges dissolving into the black sky. Asterisk, Ryan fell to his knees. Oh my God. Then they heard footsteps. From the riverbank. Asterisk, slow, deliberate. Crunching through the wet earth. The figure from across the river was walking toward them. Each step it took left no ripple. No sound, just silence. Asterisk, when it reached the fire pit. It stopped. Asterisk, the moonlight, what little remained, revealed its face. It was Caleb. His skin was gray, eyes hollow, mouth slightly open as if still whispering something. Asterisk, Ethan stumbled back. Caleb. Asterisk, his brother blinked once, then smiled a wide, broken grin. Asterisk, when he spoke, his voice came in layers, as though dozens of others were speaking with him. Asterisk, greater than you shouldn't have come here, Ethan. The ground shuddered. Roots burst from the soil, writhing like serpents, wrapping around their legs. Asterisk, Mia screamed, falling backward. Jade dropped her camera as a root coiled around her wrist. Run. Ethan shouted, but there was nowhere to run. The trees themselves began to move, their trunks creaking, groaning, shifting closer. The forest was closing in. Ryan swung his flashlight wildly. Asterisk, the beam hit Caleb's chest. And again, the light bent, curving into him, disappearing like water down a drain. Asterisk, Caleb tilted his head. The forest remembers us now. And then he was gone, vanished into the air. Ethan gasped, trying to catch his breath. Asterisk, the roots retracted, the whispering stopped, and the forest fell silent again. Asterisk, only the soft sound of the river remained, except it no longer reflected anything. It was pitch black. He turned toward the others. But Ryan was gone. Jade lay unconscious. Mia clutched Ethan's hand, shaking. Asterisk, where's Ryan? She whispered. Asterisk, Ethan didn't answer. He was staring at the moon, or what was left of it. Asterisk, half of it was gone now, consumed by a darkness that bled into the sky. Asterisk, the whisper returned, soft, close to his ear. Asterisk, greater than the lights, not gone. It's underneath. Asterisk, Ethan spun around, but no one was there. Asterisk, only the trees, tall and silent, their shadows crawling across the ground like fingers. Asterisk, the last fragment of the moon flickered once and went out. Darkness fell completely. The forest exhaled, and the world swallowed them whole. The forest that ate the moon, Part 2. The river that remembered blood. Asterisk. The forest was quiet, too quiet. After the night of vanished moonlight, Ethan, Mia, and Jade found themselves huddled near the Black River. Ryan was gone. Caleb had appeared and disappeared, leaving only terror behind. Every heartbeat felt amplified, every shadow a potential predator. Asterisk, Ethan stared at the river, the black water reflecting nothing, as if it had absorbed all light from the world. The whispers had stopped, but the sense of being watched hadn't. The air pressed down on their shoulders like a living thing. Asterisk, where do we go? Mia whispered, her voice shaking. She clutched Ethan's arm. We can't stay here. Asterisk, Ethan shook his head. We have to find Ryan, or we'll never leave. Asterisk, Jade held her camera tightly. Whatever's down there, it's connected to the river. Caleb, Ryan, they're not gone, they're underneath. The river's edge was deceptive, black and still, yet it rippled unnaturally. Ethan stepped closer. Each step sank slightly in the muddy bank. The smell hit them iron decay, and something sweeter, like rotting honey. Mia gagged. What is that smell? Ethan ignored her, scanning the riverbank. Then he saw movement, faint ripples in patterns, as if something alive swam just beneath the surface. Jade whispered, "It remembers." Before Ethan could respond, a hand shot out of the water, pale, slimy, and clawed. It grabbed the muddy bank. Then another followed, and another. They recoiled in horror as three figures emerged from the river Rion, Caleb, and a man none of them had seen before. Their eyes were hollow, their skin gray and slick with river mud. They're alive. Mia stammered. Ethan's stomach churned. No, not alive, not anymore. The figures stepped onto the bank slowly, each movement jerky and unnatural. Caleb's lips twisted into that same broken grin. Greater than the river remembers. Blood, fear, light, Caleb whispered. The forest seemed to react to his words. Trees leaned closer, branches like skeletal hands reaching. Roots slithered along the ground, curling toward the trio. The air vibrated with an unseen pulse. Ethan took a step back. We need to move now. But the figures his friends blocked the path to the forest trail, and behind them, the river began to bubble, rising unnaturally. Dark tendrils of water shot toward the bank, solidifying like liquid shadow. Mia screamed, "Run!" They scrambled along the bank, but the river twisted impossibly, redirecting itself to corner them. The forest had shifted again. The trail they had come from no longer existed. Jade tried to record everything, but her camera flickered, the red recording light dimming, as though the forest itself was absorbing the signal. Focus on the river, Ethan shouted. He spotted a fallen log leading across the water. It was slimy and slick, yet it offered their only path forward. One by one, they scrambled onto the log. Caleb's figure appeared at the opposite end, moving closer, his grin widening. The log swayed dangerously. The river roared, though it had no sound before. Now it sounded like thousands of whispers, each voice screaming over the other. The light, the light, the light. Water erupted beneath the log. Ethan grabbed Mia, keeping her steady, but the log tilted, nearly throwing them into the black river. Something lunged from below a hand. Clawed and dripping black water grasped Ethan's ankle. He kicked violently, breaking free, but the log split slightly under the strain. Jade shrieked as the camera slipped from her hands, landing in the river. It sank immediately, swallowed by the black depths. Ethan knew they couldn't stop now. The opposite bank was only a few feet away. He leaped first, landing in wet mud, then helped Mia across. Jade followed, her breathing ragged. And then the impossible happened. Caleb stepped onto the log. His foot didn't touch the woodite hovered inches above it, moving as if the forest itself held him aloft. Greater than you can't leave, Caleb said. The forest hungers. It remembers. Roots shot up from the ground, wrapping around the log, making it impossible to move. Water rose around it, solidifying into a dark, writhing mass. The river wasn't water, it was alive. The trio froze, terror-stricken. Ethan's mind raced. There had to be a way out. He remembered Caleb's camera footage, The riverbank near the old stone bridge, farther north. If they could reach it. Asterisk, but the forest wasn't letting them think linearly. Paths twisted. Trees bent over them. The moon above flickered dimly, each blink swallowed a fraction of light. Soon darkness would consume everything. Asterisk split up. Ethan yelled. Head for the bridge now. Asterisk they ran in separate directions. Mia stumbled into thick brush, roots tangling around her legs. She screamed as something cold and slimy brushed against her ankle. Asterisk Ethan ran blindly, branches lashing at his face. The whispers grew louder, almost intelligible now. Asterisk blood. Light vanish. Join us, asterisk somewhere, Jade cried out. Ethan turned, but could see nothing, just shadow moving against shadow. The forest wasn't natural. Not entirely. It pulsed like a living creature. The ground heaved. Trees bled sap that looked like dark liquid. Roots stretched outward like fingers. Every step they took, the forest reacted. Asterisk Ethan leaped over a fallen tree, and his foot sank slightly into the soil. He felt it, something soft and alive beneath the mud. A scream erupted from below, muffled, distant, yet inside his skull. Asterisk greater than Caleb, he whispered. No. Asterisk the moon flickered again. Its reflection appeared in the river, then distorted, showing not his face, but his own death. Ethan stumbled back in terror. Hours or maybe minutes passed. Time felt warped. Shadows moved independently of light. Whispers became voices, repeating everything they had ever feared. Asterisk greater than leave. Join vanish. Ethan found Mia, crouched against a massive tree, her hair matted with mud, eyes wide and vacant. Ethan, she breathed. The river, it remembers everything. All fear, all blood. Asterisk, a sudden motion caught his eye. The black river split. From the depths, dozens of figures emerge. Not human, not fully. Half-rotted, half-light, floating just above the surface. They drifted toward the forest, toward the trees, absorbing moonlight as they moved. Asterisk Caleb was among them, his grin wider than ever. Asterisk, we are the river now, he whispered, and the forest remembers. Ethan grabbed Mia's hand. We have to reach the bridge, there's no other way. Asterisk, but the ground began to shift beneath them. Roots shot upward, twisting like serpents, wrapping around their ankles. Water surged from underground streams, pooling rapidly, cutting off paths. Asterisk, every direction looked like death. Every shadow promised it. Asterisk yet. Just faintly ahead, a dim outline appeared, a stone bridge, old and moss-covered. Spanning the Black River, they ran. Roots lashed at them. Water tried to pull them in, but adrenaline carried them forward. Caleb appeared again, standing at the river's edge, arms outstretched, greater than the forest hungers. Join us or vanish. Asterisk Ethan kicked a root that tried to grab him, lunged forward, and reached the bridge. Mia followed. Jade was last, slipping but catching Ethan's hand just in time. Asterisk, they crossed the bridge. Breathless, soaked, mud-covered, hearts pounding. Asterisk, the river below was calm against too calm. The black water reflected the moon partially, though it flickered faintly, as if breathing. Asterisk, they paused, trembling. Behind them, the forest waited. Silent, patient, asterisk, but they had crossed. For now, the stone bridge led to an overgrown path. Ancient carvings lined the stones. Symbols Ethan didn't recognize. They glowed faintly in the remaining moonlight, pulsing slowly. Asterisk, the forest remembers blood, Jade whispered. And now, it remembers us. Asterisk, Ethan's gaze fixed on the dark path ahead. He knew the bridge was only temporary safety. Beyond it lay deeper parts of the forest, older, hungrier. Asterisk and Ryan. He was gone. The river had taken him. Asterisk, Ethan swallowed hard. We're not done yet. The forest. It's not finished with us. Asterisk, Mia nodded, tears streaking mud across her face. Then we keep moving, or we die. As dawn threatened to break, though it barely touched the forest, the trio pressed on. Asterisk, branches scraped like claws. Shadows twisted unnaturally. Whispers grew faint and distant, only to return louder as they moved. The forest had tasted fear. It remembered every heartbeat. Asterisk, every drop of blood spilled within its borders. Asterisk, and somewhere, deep beneath the river, something waited, patiently, watching hungry. Asterisk. The Forest That Ate the Moon, Part 3. The Hollow of Forgotten Souls. The stone bridge faded behind them like a bad memory. Ethan, Mia, and Jade pressed forward along the narrow path that twisted deep into the heart of the forest. The air was heavier now, each breath tasting of mud, iron, and something sweeter like decay mixed with faint ozone. Asterisk, are we even on a path anymore? Mia whispered, clutching Ethan's arm. Asterisk. The trees pressed closer, branches clawing at their clothes. The ground squished underfoot, sticky with wet leaves and old, blackened soil. Even the birds were silent. Asterisk, Jade's camera flickered in her hands, the red recording light struggling to stay on. The forest. It remembers us. Every step we take, it records. Every heartbeat, every thought. Asterisk, Ethan shivered. It's not just watching, it's thinking. The trio came to a clearing. Moonlight filtered through the canopy, dim and fragmented. In the center of the clearing lay a pit. The earth around it had been disturbed, roots twisted unnaturally, and the smell of decay was overpowering. Asterisk, what? What is that? Mia asked, stepping back. Asterisk, Ethan crouched, peering into the hollow. The pit was deeper than any grave he had ever seen. At the bottom, he could barely make out shapes, twisted, pale, unmoving. The water from the river seemed to feed it, black liquid sloshing silently. Asterisk, Jade swallowed hard. The hollow. It's what Caleb's video hinted at. The place the forest uses to keep them. Asterisk, keep who? Ethan demanded. Asterisk, everyone, Jade whispered. The forest doesn't just take light, takes people. And it stores them here. In the hollow. In memory, in life and death at the same time. Suddenly, the black water stirred. Faint cries rose from the hollow, whispers of the missing, overlapping in a chilling symphony. One figure stepped up the pit wall limping, pale eyes hollow. It was Ryan. Greater than Ethan. Help me. Asterisk, his voice was weak, but not fully human. His skin seemed stretched, gray, veins visible beneath the surface. Roots curled around his legs, tugging him downward. Asterisk, Ethan rushed forward. Hold on, Ryan, I've got you. Asterisk, Mia grabbed his hand. Be careful, it's feeding on him. Asterisk, but Ethan didn't hesitate. He grabbed Ryan's arms, pulling with all his strength. Roots snapped and hissed. slithering like serpents around them. The pit's edge crumbled under the strain. Asterisk, the hollow remembers. Ryan moaned, eyes rolling back. It's hungry, always hungry. Suddenly, a presence loomed behind them. The shadows of the trees thickened, coiling like black smoke. Caleb appeared at the edge of the hollow, his grin wider than ever, and shadows flickered over his face like a broken reflection. Asterisk, greater than you shouldn't interfere, Caleb whispered. His voice layered part human, part something else. The forest must remember everything. The hollow must be fed. Asterisk, the ground trembled. Roots surged upward, wrapping around Ethan, Mia, and Ryan. They struggled, but the forest had learned their movements, predicting each escape. Asterisk, Jade dropped to the ground, filming everything, whispering into her mic. The hollow, it collects fear, it collects blood, it collects light, and it remembers. We're trapped, Mia sobbed. Ethan's heart pounded. No, not yet. We fight, we survive. From the pit, black water surged upward. Pale hands shot out, grabbing at their legs. Ethan kicked and pulled Ryan free, just in time. Mia clawed through roots, screaming as the hollow tried to claim her. Asterisk, a shadow moved across the edge of the clearing. Dark, massive, and indistinct. It was not human, yet it had the shape of a man. Its eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the dim moonlight. Asterisk, the keeper. Jade whispered. Asterisk, Ethan realized it. The hollow had a guardian. Something older than the forest, older than the river. Something that collected memories and souls. Asterisk, we don't have much time, he shouted. The bridge isn't far. We need to move. The forest seemed to respond violently. Trees bent forward, branches lashing at them. Roots twisted, blocking paths, tripping them, pulling them backward. The hollow's hands reached farther, grabbing at ankles and arms. Asterisk, Ethan swung a fallen branch, cutting through roots like knives, screaming for Mia and Ryan to follow. Asterisk, greater than this way, he yelled, pointing toward a faint light, a break in the dense canopy. Asterisk, they ran, lungs burning, waterlogged mud weighing them down. Behind them, the hollow's whispers turned to cries, screams, and laughter all at once. Ethan could hear Caleb's layered voice taunting them. Asterisk, greater than you cannot leave. The forest remembers, always. Minutes or maybe hours passed. The path twisted unnaturally. Every time they thought they had reached a safe point, the forest shifted, moving the trail, deepening the hollow, drawing them back into the pit's influence. Asterisk, Jade stumbled, dropping the camera. Ethan grabbed her, but a hand shot from the hollow, scraping across Jade's arm. She screamed, clawing free, tears mixing with mud. Asterisk, the hollow takes light and blood. Ethan muttered, remembering Caleb's final words. It remembers fear. That's why it feeds on us. Asterisk, Mia's voice shook. Then how do we stop it? Asterisk, Ethan had no answer. Not yet. They finally spotted what looked like an old, fallen tree bridge leading across a narrow tributary of the Black River. The path was slippery, roots thick across the surface. The hollow's influence was reaching for them from both sides, hands clawing, shadows lunging. Asterisk, greater than go. Now, Ethan shouted. Asterisk, They scrambled onto the tree. The hollow surged below, black water bubbling like ink. Roots lashed at their legs, clawed hands emerged, but they climbed and ran, balancing desperately. Caleb appeared again on the bank opposite them, grinning. He raised his hands, and the trees and roots around him twisted violently, trying to topple the log. The hollow remembers all, he cried. You cannot escape. The bridge snapped in the middle. Ethan jumped, landing heavily but stable. Mia and Jade followed, slipping but catching themselves. For a moment, all three were on solid ground, but the forest was closing in fast. They looked back. The hollow pulsed in the pit below, its hands rising and falling like waves. Shapes floated above the black water pale faces, familiar friends, lost forever. Some mouths moved, whispering their names, calling for help. We have to keep moving, Ethan shouted, grabbing Mia's hand. Ahead, the path narrowed, leading to a stone archway over a small, glowing stream. The moon above flickered weakly through the canopy. Greater than maybe. Maybe there's safety beyond that arch, Jade cried. But as they approached, the shadows of the hollow stretched forward, reaching for them. Roots and branches tore at the earth beneath their feet. The forest seemed alive, pulsing, thinking. Ethan realized the truth. They were in the memory of the forest itself. Every step, every scream, every drop of fear was recorded, stored, and manipulated. They were never outside it, they were inside it. Greater than the hollow. It's not just a pit, Ethan whispered. It's the forest, alive, feeding, remembering everything. Suddenly, the stream ahead shimmered unnaturally. Its waters glowed red, not blood, but a mirror of what they feared most. Every image reflected their deepest terror: falling, drowning, being consumed. The hollow surged forward. Pale figures emerged from the ground and the stream, twisting and floating, each screaming, whispering, clawing. Caleb's grin widened, now floating above the mass of the hollow, merging with it. Greater than you cannot leave, he said, his voice now layered with hundreds of whispers. The forest remembers. Ethan grabbed Mia and Jade, pushing forward, diving through the archway over the stream. Their feet hit solid stone. For the first time in hours, they weren't sinking into mud. Behind them, the hollow crashed against the edges of the archway. The black water rippled, hands clawing, but they couldn't reach them. Greater than we made it. For now, Ethan panted. But it's not done. Not by far. The forest fell quiet again, but the moon flickered ominously. Somewhere, far below the river, the hollow waited, patient, pulsing, remembering. And we are trapped. In its memory, Jade whispered. Ethan's gaze hardened. Then we find the way to destroy it. Or we die trying. The Forest That Ate the Moon, Part 4, The Eyes Beneath the Canopy. Ethan, Mia and Jade stumbled forward along the narrow stone path. Their clothes soaked in mud and river water, their lungs burning with exhaustion. The forest behind them pulsed faintly, as if it were breathing in sync with their heartbeats. Every branch, every leaf, every shadow felt alive. The hollow below had not forgotten them. Asterisk greater than I don't think it's gone, Mia whispered, her voice trembling. It's watching. Asterisk Ethan tightened his grip on her hand. Then we watch it back. We move carefully. No noise. No mistakes. Asterisk Jade adjusted her camera. The forest, it sees us. Not like eyes, but like memory. Every step, every glance it records. And the eyes, they're everywhere. The canopy above thickened. Moonlight barely filtered through, and every time it did, it flickered like a dying flame. Shadows moved unnaturally across the ground, elongating and bending. Something shifted in the corner of Ethan's vision, a shape that wasn't there before. Asterisk, did you see that? He whispered. Asterisk Mia nodded silently. Eyes, I can feel them. Asterisk the forest seemed to respond to their thoughts. Branches swayed without wind. Leaves rustled despite still air. Somewhere, a distant cry echoed, a mix of human screams and animal growls. The forest itself was alive with memory and hunger. They reached a narrow ridge overlooking a deep valley. The river from before twisted through the valley, black and alive. Its surface smooth as glass, yet bubbling faintly. Asterisk, we need to cross, Ethan said, scanning the tree line. There's a path down to the valley floor. It's the only way. Asterisk, as they descended, the shadows seemed to follow them. The leaves overhead shifted, forming patterns, faces, hands, eyes. Pale shapes moved between the trees. They weren't fully solid, yet they felt threatening. Asterisk the eyes, Jade whispered. They watch everything. They see through you. They know your fear. Asterisk the forest's pulse seemed to quicken, matching their steps. Every heartbeat felt amplified. Every sound, a twig snapping. A leaf falling echoed like a gunshot in the still air. Suddenly, a figure darted across their path, a pale silhouette, impossibly thin, moving on spindly limbs. It stopped just ahead, tilting its head. The eyes were hollow, black pits that seemed to absorb all light. Asterisk greater than Caleb, Ethan muttered, stepping forward cautiously. Asterisk the figure didn't respond. Instead, it raised its hands, and the forest around it seemed to lean closer. Roots erupted from the soil, twisting and curling like snakes, trying to ensnare the trio. Asterisk, run, Ethan shouted. Asterisk, they bolted, dodging grasping roots and slithering vines. Behind them, the figure melted into the shadows, disappearing as if the forest had swallowed it. The path became treacherous. Every step was met with resistance, roots pulling at their ankles, branches striking like hands, leaves thickening into walls. The eyes above followed relentlessly. Pale orbs glimmered between the branches, blinking in unison. Asterisk greater than they know us, Mia whispered. They know everything we've done. Every fear, every doubt. Asterisk Jade recorded silently, capturing everything. She noticed movement in her peripheral vision, figures peeking from behind trees, watching, waiting. The forest had memory, and it remembered them all. Caleb, Ryan, Ethan, Mia, Jade, Asterisk were inside it. Ethan realized. We're not walking through the forest. The forest is walking through us. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time felt distorted. The deeper they went, the more oppressive the forest became. Branches dripped a black resin that smelled faintly of iron and rot. Roots slithered across the ground, pulling at their boots. Every step forward seemed to age them, sap their strength. Asterisk, we're being tested, Ethan muttered. It wants to know if we're worthy of surviving. Asterisk, a faint sound caught their attention, a whispering river. The tributary they had crossed glowed faintly ahead, black water running under a fallen log bridge. But something was different. Shapes moved beneath the surface, pale figures pushing against the current. Faces pressed against the liquid, mouths open in silent screams. Asterisk the hollow, Jade said, voice shaking. It's beneath us again. As they approached the log, a shadow darted across the forest floor. It was Caleb, or something that looked like him. His skin was gray, his eyes hollow, yet his grin was wider than ever. Asterisk, the forest remembers. The forest sees. The forest hungers, he whispered. Asterisk roots surged from the soil, wrapping around the log and their legs. The log tilted, slippery and unsteady. Water from the tributary surged beneath them, curling upward as if reaching for their feet. Asterisk, go. Now, Ethan shouted. Asterisk, they ran across the log, slipping and sliding. Ethan grabbed Mia's hand, pulling her across. Jade followed, nearly losing her balance. But Ethan caught her wrist just in time. Once across, they paused, panting. The forest was silent again, but the eyes above continued to watch. Glimmering orbs blinked from the canopy, following every movement. Asterisk, we're not safe, Ethan said. They're everywhere. The forest is alive. It sees us. Asterisk, Mia shivered. Then what do we do? Asterisk, greater than we keep moving, Ethan replied. There's a clearing up ahead. There has to be something someplace we can rest, some way to fight back. Asterisk, they followed the narrow path, moving cautiously. The shadows stretched unnaturally with each step. Every leaf, every branch seemed to mimic their movements. The forest had become a mirror of their fear. After what felt like hours, they reached a strange structure, hollowed tree, unlike any they had seen. Its bark was blackened, twisted, and carved with symbols that pulsed faintly with light. Asterisk, the hollow tree, Jade whispered. It's alive. It's the heart of the forest's memory. Asterisk, the tree exuded a low hum, vibrating through the ground into their bones. Pale faces occasionally appeared in its knots, pressing against the bark, whispering warnings and secrets. Asterisk, Ethan placed his hand on the tree. The moment he touched it, memories flooded his mind. Caleb screaming in the river. Ryan being pulled into the hollow, the forest consuming light. He staggered back, gasping. Asterisk, greater than it's showing us everything. It remembers everything, he said. Suddenly, the forest around them shifted violently. Roots erupted from the soil, branches lashed at them. The eyes blinked faster, more erect. From within the tree, a voice echoed. Asterisk, greater than the light. Must return. Blood, fear, memory. Asterisk, a pale figure stepped from the shadows. Caleb, fully merged with the forest. His grin was impossibly wide, his voice layered with hundreds of whispers. Asterisk, greater than you cannot leave. You belong to the forest now. Asterisk, Ethan grabbed Mia and Jade. We fight. Or we die. The hollow tree shivered. Shadows leaped from its roots, forming hands, faces, and twisting shapes. They lunged at the trio, pulling at their limbs, trying to drag them into the tree. Ethan swung a heavy branch, cutting through roots and shapes. Mia and Jade struck at the shadows with anything they could grab. Every movement seemed to provoke the forest further. Roots twisted violently, branches coiled around each other, and the hollow tree pulsed with energy, feeding off fear. We can't stop it, Jade screamed. It's alive. It remembers. But Ethan refused to give in. We moved forward, to the clearing. They dashed along the narrow path, dodging grasping roots and leaping over twisted vines. Behind them, the hollow tree's energy pulsed like a heartbeat. The forest itself seemed to lean forward, reaching, watching, judging. Finally, they saw a faint light ahead, a clearing, surrounded by less dense trees. They ran toward it, branches lashing but failing to block their path. When they reached the clearing, they collapsed, breathing heavily, hearts pounding. The eyes in the canopy seemed to linger, but the forest's pull had lessened. For the first time, they felt a sliver of hope. Greater than we made it. For now, Ethan said, panting. But the forest isn't done, not yet. The hollow tree loomed behind them in the shadows, silent for the moment, patient. Somewhere beneath the ground, the river pulsed, alive, remembering. Hungering. Greater than we have to find the source, Ethan said. The heart of the forest, or we never leave. Mia nodded weakly, still trembling. And the hollow. Ryan, Caleb. Ethan's jaw tightened. We find a way to free them. Or die trying. The eyes in the canopy blinked once, then everything went silent. The Forest That Ate the Moon Part 5. The heart of the forest. The clearing offered little comfort. Ethan, Mia, and Jade crouched behind twisted roots, listening to the eerie silence. Above, the eyes in the canopy blinked slowly, like aware predators marking their prey. The forest seemed to hold its breath. The Hollow and Caleb were out there, somewhere, still hunting. Still remembering. Greater than we can't stay here, Ethan whispered. We need to find the heart of the forest, the source of all this. Before it's too late. Mia shivered, nodding. And, Ryan. We can't leave him. Ethan clenched his jaw. We don't have a choice. We fight, or we die trying. Let's move. They pressed forward, stepping carefully across a carpet of blackened leaves. The forest around them seemed to pulse with each heartbeat, every branch swaying as though alive. Shadows twisted unnaturally, extending toward them, retreating, then lunging again. Jade kept filming silently, capturing everything: the shifting trees, the glimmering eyes, the rippling black river in the distance. It's watching, she whispered. Every movement, every thought. We can't hide. Ethan's fingers dug into a root. Then, we face it. We take the forest head on. The path narrowed into a ravine. Mist rose from the black river below, swirling thickly and making the silhouettes of the trees appear distorted, monstrous. Shapes moved in the fog, familiar faces, friends long gone, screaming silently, trapped in the forest's memory, asterisk greater than the hollow. It's keeping them here, Jade said, voice trembling. All of them. Ryan, Caleb, others. Asterisk greater than then we destroy it, Ethan said, determination burning in his eyes. The heart. Whatever it is, that's the only way. Asterisk they climbed down the ravine, mud and roots making every step treacherous. The whispers grew louder, layered voices overlapping, forming a cacophony of terror. Asterisk greater than you cannot leave. The forest remembers. It hungers. Halfway down, Ethan spotted movement in the mist. Pale figures emerged from the riverbank, Caleb among them, fused with shadow, his grin impossibly wide. The other figures were twisted and broken, half submerged in river water, half hovering above it. Asterisk greater than you're too late, Caleb whispered, voice layered with hundreds of echoes. The forest remembers. It always remembers. Asterisk, Ethan stepped forward, gripping a thick branch like a weapon. We're not late. We're ending this. Asterisk, Caleb tilted his head. The river surged. Roots lashed out, trying to ensnare them. The forest's pulse quickened. Asterisk greater than you'll feed the hollow, Caleb said. You will become memory, like all the others. Mia grabbed Ethan's arm. We can't fight it physically. We need another way. Asterisk Jade pointed to a faint glow ahead, a massive hollow tree, larger than any they had seen. Its bark pulsed, and faint faces swirled within. This had to be at the heart of the forest. Asterisk, that's it, Ethan whispered. The heart. Asterisk, the ground trembled. Roots erupted violently, blocking their path. Caleb's voice echoed from all directions. Asterisk greater than do you see it? The source. The memory. You cannot stop what remembers everything. Asterisk, Ethan grabbed Mia's hand. We move, now. They charged toward the tree. The mist swirled, forming shapes of those taken by the forest, the hollow, the river shadows. Hands reached for them, roots twisted like snakes, pulling at their clothes, clawing at their limbs. Asterisk, Ethan swung his branch, cutting through roots. Mia used a jagged rock to tear at the grasping shadows. Jade's camera recorded everything, the red light flickering violently. Asterisk, the hollow surged beneath them. Black water spilling over the ravine. Faces pressing up as if the forest itself tried to swallow them whole. Asterisk, almost there, Ethan shouted. Just a little farther. They reached the base of the massive tree. Its bark was black, twisted, pulsing. Faces swirled within it, crying, screaming, and whispering in a chorus of despair. The forest remembered every step, every scream, every drop of blood. Asterisk, Ethan pressed his hand to the tree. The pulsating energy surged through him, visions flashing. Caleb being consumed by the river. Ryan trapped in the hollow, the forest consuming light, blood, and fear for centuries. Asterisk greater than we have to destroy it, Ethan said. Everything. The memory, the hollow, the forest. Asterisk, Mia nodded. But how? Asterisk greater than its heart. We strike it at the center, Ethan said. Whatever's keeping it alive, this tree is it. Suddenly, Caleb appeared, fused with the tree. Shadows twisted around him, merging with the bark. His grin widened. Asterisk greater than you cannot win, he whispered. The forest remembers all, you'll be next. Asterisk Ethan swung his branch at the tree, but it barely made a scratch. The forest pulsed violently, roots lashing at them. Shadows tried to pull them in. Asterisk greater than we have to fight fear, Ethan shouted. It feeds on our fear. Not our strength, not our weapons. Asterisk, he forced himself to concentrate, banishing panic, steadying his breathing. Mia and Jade followed suit, focusing on hope, determination, and light in their hearts. Asterisk greater than it's working, Jade whispered. The forest, it's reacting to our will. The tree shuddered violently. Faces screamed and swirled within the bark. Caleb's grin faltered as Ethan pressed his hands into the tree, focusing all his energy. Willing the forest to release its prisoners. Asterisk the hollow screamed, the river churned, and for a moment, everything seemed to stand still. Asterisk then light erupted from the tree. Brilliant, pure, white light moonlight restored, flowing outward like a river of energy. Faces emerged from the bark, pale and frightened, then solidifying back into human form, Ryan, and others taken by the forest. Asterisk, it's working. Ethan yelled. Asterisk, Caleb screamed, the shadows around him dissolving. The forest pulsed one last time, then fell silent. The black river retreated, water turning clear, roots retracted, branches returned to normal. The eyes blinked once, then vanished. Ryan collapsed to the ground, exhausted but alive. Mia held him, tears streaking mud from her face. Asterisk, we did it, she whispered. Asterisk Ethan looked at the massive tree. Its bark was still blackened, but the pulsating energy was gone. The forest seemed dormant, lifeless for the first time in centuries. Asterisk Jade filmed silently, capturing everything. It's over. I think it's over. The survivors walked toward the edge of the forest. The moon shone fully, bright and intact. The black river was gone. Light and shadow had returned to balance. Asterisk greater than we made it. We actually made it, Ethan said, breathing heavily. Asterisk Mia smiled weakly. And Ryan? He's alive. Asterisk Ryan nodded, still trembling. I don't know how, but we did it. Asterisk greater than the forest. It won't forget, Ethan said, glancing back at the trees. But at least, we survived. This time, Asterisk the trio stepped out of the forest, the first light of dawn brushing the horizon. The horrors they endured would never leave their memories, but the forest, once a living nightmare, had been silenced. For now, Asterisk the end.